Good morning, everybody. This is the Transportation Committee meeting. Mr. Davist is ill and our
No, good morning. Mr. Davist is remote due to exposure to COVID. But trying to get set up here with an extra screen so that I can follow along with everything. As you can see, Mr. Tepe has recognized.
Mr. Davist, you might want to mute yourself.
Oop, there we go. Sorry. So as you can see, good morning, everyone. Mr. Tepe has
Mr. Davist, this is Blair. You
Yeah.
have something going on your computer that is playing back, so we are getting feedback. So I need you to remain muted until you sort out anything that is playing on.
Okay, as I was trying to say earlier, Mr. Davist and Mr. Doherty are both out for medical reasons. They are both online.
Mr. Vice Chair Shepro.
We have some
Hello?
feedback. Mr. Shepro.
Yes, I was just asked to point out that in the absence of the chair and the vice chair would be appropriate to ask for a motion for the person who the committee desires to chair the meeting in the absence of the chair and the vice chair.
Thank you, Mr. Shepro. That's exactly what I was going to do. Okay.
Great minds think alike.
Okay, so in the absence of both the chair and vice chair for the committee, may I have a motion to have someone chair the committee today?
This is Caius. Or no,
Caius.
Mr. Tepe, as the case may be. I would move that we have you as the chair of this committee this morning.
Thank you, Mr. Caius.
Roth will second.
Mr. Roth will second.
Can we do a voice vote to approval?
Yes, you can.
Roll call, please.
We can do a voice
Voice
vote, but vote.
So just say aye.
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 All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Well, just
Okay.
take a vote.
All right, Mr. Davist and Mr. Doherty are both remote. Without objection, I'd like to have them included in the meeting.
No problem.
Okay. All right, and roll call.
Berman, Iqbal,
Iqbal present.
Caius,
Caius present.
Leonard, Roth,
Roth here.
Ford, Doherty, Davist,
Davist here. Is this
Mr.
better now?
and Tepe.
Tepe here.
I don't know.
You have an in-person quorum.
Okay. Repeating the remote attendance request, any objection to Mr. Doherty and Mr. Davist? Thank you. Approval of minutes for March 19th.
Mr. Chair, I would ask for unanimous consent with just one caveat. I think if you check the numbers on the minutes, the order that it comes in, I think it's just a Scribner's error. We have 5 and 6 on the agenda as separate items, and in the minutes, they're one item, so the numbers don't match up quite, but I think that's just a transcription thing with the software, so I would ask that we unanimously consent to adopting these minutes with that correction.
Let's do that with a motion.
I move then.
Roth second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Public comment. We have 2 people signed up for public comment. I'm not sure if they're on or off agenda, on agenda. So, Jerry Sywert, am I pronouncing your name right? Okay. Please step up. You have 3 minutes.
Okay, my name is Jerry Seward. I live at 41 W 987 Silver Glen Road, St. Charles. Second time here trying to bring this to your attention. As the weather has gotten warmer, the traffic in front of our intersection has gotten worse and worse. Speeders are getting higher and higher, and the crashes are getting more and more severe. Jennifer passed around some pictures here, which hopefully you've taken a look at. The last crash we had was March 24th, where a individual on Silver Glen is not familiar with the area, which is usually the reason. He rolled out into the intersection. A newer Toyota Tacoma pickup truck sideswiped him, trying to make a left to avoid him coming out of Silver Glen, and he T-boned a Chevy Silverado pulling a trailer and hit him so hard that his back door on the driver's side was hanging on by one bolt. He pushed that vehicle partway on my property, which really wasn't any damage. But if it wasn't for the airbags in there, I don't think him and his wife would have survived. It was that bad of an incident. So I'm kind of asking if you would somehow push this progress a little bit faster. Because I was actually out there the other day and I saw the workers working at the intersection and I was like, wow, we're getting a stop sign today. And I approached him and asked him, and he said, no, we're cleaning out the culverts because you're planning on repaving Silver Glen from Randall all the way to 47. And for that kind of money, I can't understand why we can't include 2 stop signs. I was told that you have to do traffic studies and warranties and everything else. I think these pictures warrant the fact that 2 stop signs may have possibly avoided people, combined with all these crashes we've had since December 14th. I'm not a body and fender man, but I can almost guarantee you that that Toyota Tacoma, which was pretty much brand new, got totaled. That's got to be a $40,000 car there. So what's it going to cost to put up 2 stop signs and possibly prevent somebody from getting killed and or stop, or lower the damage that's being done there? So I'm pretty much just, looking for you guys to, hopefully step up and push this a little bit further and not have to wait on everybody, doing progress reports of warranties and what have you. Fixing that Silver Glen and repaving it, sure, it'll be nice, but I'll guarantee you it's also going to increase the speed because we get people right now going up and down that road doing 70 miles an hour. So please do your best. I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Lorraine Chidester.
You want to just leave them up here? Or you got several copies of them? Is that okay, Mr. Chairman?
Sure.
Welcome, Lorraine. I hope I pronounced your name proper.
Yes, you did. Thank you. Good morning. I'm here for the memory of Stephen Wayne Chidester. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Lorraine Chidester and I work for Kane County GS Technologies, currently in my 30th year of employment. It has been 252,460,800 seconds, 4,207,680 minutes, 70,128 hours, 292 days, 417 weeks and 3 days. And on May 19th, 2024, it will be 8 years since Steve Chidester, age 44, died tragically while working road detail for KDOT. Thursday, May 19th, 2016. In the blink of an eye, a life was lost, worlds were shattered, and in the wake of an inexplicable accident, a devoted wife, loving family, proud parents struggled to carry on. Steve's life, love, and friendship touched so many, and the loss has touched so many more. His spirit lives on through his legacy, and Steve's memory will never diminish. The broken hearts will mend, but will forever carry a piece of him in the shadows of their life. We were together for 24 years and just celebrated our 20th wedding anniversary 15 days before he was taken. We had plans to grow old together, places we wanted to visit, graduations and weddings we wanted to attend, holiday with our family, and many more things I could list that were all taken away by one distracted driver. I am here today to honor my husband's memory and ask that you move over for all road construction workers in your districts, in your homes, with your kids, your families, with your friends, in hopes that this tragic accident never happens again. Life does move on, but for me, the memory of May 19th, 2016 is forever burned in my brain. I get severe PTSD whenever I'm in road construction, as I worry for each family that has a worker there that day, and I hope that speaking, I can save at least one person's life by asking you to spread the following slogan. Move over for all road construction crews. Pay attention while you're driving. Save a life in memory of Stephen Wayne Chedister. Thank you for your time and have a blessed day.
Thank you. Okay, that concludes public comment. Finance, Mike? You,
In your packet, there are the finance reports. If you have any questions, please reach out and we'll get them answered.
okay. The draft budget?
All right, I'm gonna go into this. There's a lot of pages, but that doesn't mean we're gonna be hitting every page. And so I just want to get to it real quick. Sorry. All right, we're gonna talk a little bit about our considerations for the budget. We're moving forward with the budget. The schedule has been handed out to the county board as well as to all the departments. But this week we wanted to talk a little bit about two different things before we start working diligently on our draft budget. The first one is personnel. I wanted to just give you some reference. We do have a staff of a lot of different engineers, and in regards to that, you can see the vacancies. Most of the vacancies that we have in our organization are in yellow there. They're primarily our professional engineering positions. We also have our deputy chief of staff that is currently vacant at this point in time as well. Just a little bit of information. We have a total of 77 full-time position, or 71 full-time and 6 seasonal, 77 positions. As far as filled positions currently, there's 64. 34 of those are in our Fund 302 and 30 of them in Fund 300, which is primarily to cover our maintenance positions. We currently, at this point in time, have 13 vacancies, but the primary one I wanted to spend some time on is the vacant full-time positions, which are 7 professional positions. You've heard me talk about this in the past. We talked about this during our previous budget cycle, that at this point in time, it's very difficult to hire professional engineers. In Fund 300, those vacancies, we have 2 design engineer vacancies. We have 1 construction manager engineer vacancy. Our traffic operations engineer is vacant at this point in time, and that's primarily because Phoebe Wu was promoted recently to our chief of traffic operations. If you don't know, Steven Zolkowski has left us and gone on to another county that pays significantly better than we do. And so that kind of puts us into a quandary when we look at all these different positions. The other one listed up there is the permit and traffic engineer position. We do have a regional planning liaison, which is a professional planning position that does our bicycle pedestrian planning. We may have an individual to fill that position, and so we're excited about that opportunity. But it's contingent upon their graduation, so we're not going to see that person until this summer. And so just giving you a heads up. And then our deputy chief of staff. I'm bringing this up because the policy that the departments are asked to go forward with is to, at our size department, is to go forward with only 2 vacancies. And I'm here to say that I'm recommending that we don't just do the 2 vacancies, that we continue to utilize the vacancies that we have on the personnel side in our drafting of the budget. Primarily, again, the professional engineers are our primary concern. We need these positions filled. We know that currently with the salary ranges that these positions have been vacant for well over a year, but we need to get them filled, and we need to figure out how to get them filled, because when you have vacancies with a professional staff, what that does is it relies on existing staff, overwhelming, where there's a lot of overtime and different efforts that have to be put in to handle the workload. The impacts of vacancies, I have up here some of the impacts. One is safety, our ability to actually evaluate the concerns. When the public calls in and they start talking about, can you look at this? Can you look at the speed on a certain road? A lot of that historically had been done internally with our professional engineers, but we're at a point where we can't do that, and we do hire consulting engineers. Those consulting engineers, as many of you know, they get paid the market rate, as well as with overhead and many other aspects. They're getting paid 3 times what we would pay a staff person to handle the different workloads internally. We will always be hiring consultants. We have to. We don't have 40, 50 positions that can handle all the various disciplines of engineering. So we will be hiring consultants, but we need internal staffing to assist us on a lot of the day-to-day activities, including managing various projects that are being designed by an engineering company. So safety is a primary concern of ours. Project management, as I just mentioned, is another concern. Value engineering. A lot of our staff take time to evaluate what the design engineering consultant company is submitting to us to make sure that that is the best design and value for the money. There's a lot of cost savings on an annual basis, millions of dollars of cost savings that occur on a regular basis because of value engineering. Planning. Right now, bike ped is kind of on a hold, standstill until we get a staff person in. Permit reviews. Our permit section is extremely overloaded right now. We're having to usher things through at a quicker pace than we would want to. At the same time, we also know that a lot of the developers want us to be able to move things even faster. So there's issues with that. Inspections, to be able to go out to the various sites that are occurring right now, either at the permitting level or at the design level or construction level, to go out there on a regular basis and make sure that the traffic control, the state safety signs, or that the work that's occurring in the field is occurring appropriately and correctly with the specifications. Traffic operations. Luckily, again, if you know Phoebe Wu, Phoebe used to work for Cook County and does an excellent job with traffic operations. At the same time, some of the traffic safety aspect is an area that she's growing in. She's primarily involved with a lot of the signal timing and ensuring that our 100 and I think it's almost 140 signals that they are operating appropriately, et cetera. Data collection, going after grants. So I'm just giving you a whole bunch of different things that over the last couple years have become extremely difficult for our department to be able to actually do as we have difficulty hiring professionals to assist us in all the various work products. Again, you all know this, but I wanted to make sure that you understood why we have difficulty at the staff level to recommend anything to you where we reduce or remove all our vacancies and only move forward with 2 vacancies in accordance with the policies that are coming forward right now. We really need to fill this, fill all these positions, and if possible, we need to continue growing some of our positions. If you look at surrounding counties, their engineering staffing is significantly higher than ours. One of the counties that surrounds us, they have almost the same amount of road mileage, lane miles, bridges, signal systems. They almost have the same exact amount that Kane County has, and yet they have 3 times more the number of engineers that oversee their highway system. So it's again, we're surviving, but it is difficult, and we really want to retain these. So I'm giving you a heads up that I'm not looking at reducing, unless the committee here tells me we have to. I'm not looking at getting rid of the vacancies that we have. I want to figure out some way to fill those vacancies with professional staff. So the last line there is the recommendation. We want to at least maintain existing headcount, and try to fill those positions. The one change that we know that we need at least 1 or 2 more maintainers. The deputy chief of staff reports to me. I'm basically saying, let's move that to a maintenance position so that we can deal with our need for a maintainer. So we're going to try to, no matter what, maintain the head counts, and if there's opportunity in the near future, we would continue to look at the salary ranges in order to attract these civil engineers 3 and 4. Civil engineers 3 and 4 are people that have 10 years, 15 years of experience. They're not, you really can't bring in somebody that just got their degree and start throwing them into these positions. And so I'm rambling a little bit. I'm trying to also make sure that you all understand the concerns that we have in regards to our professional positions. Again, I know they've been vacant for a year. We're hoping we can deal with the salaries so that we can fill these positions. So that's the personnel side. Before I get into projects, if you want to have any discussions in that aspect, we can.
Any discussions or questions?
Mr. Chairman,
Strickland.
I have several questions, actually. These vacancies, do they all require PE license, or like grant writer, do they require to be a PE?
Most of these positions actually oversee projects. They actually approve the design aspects of projects. So yes, they really need to be professional engineers. We've tried to backfill some of our positions with less qualified. I'm trying to figure out the appropriate wording, but we've tried to bring people in to at least give us some personnel hours in order to maybe go out and visit sites and stuff. But a lot of times, a lot of the engineering aspects and the specifications takes years to actually learn.
Yeah.
And so to have somebody out in the field inspecting something for a $10, $20 million project, and they really don't have the skills and the ability to really know that this is being put in accordance with the specifications, in accordance with the design, very, very concerning to us. It does the quality of service, the quality of the product, ensuring that it's being done appropriately so that we don't have maintenance issues in a few years. It's very important.
Mr. Chairman, Davis with a comment.
Davis.
I'm not done yet.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mo. Go ahead.
Yeah, the question is that you are asking inverted pyramid situation in which you're asking qualified engineers with 10 years of experience leave the other positions and come and join you. Generally, it doesn't happen in reverse. A young engineer joins the public field, he gets the experience, and then he goes to the consultant. That's how people do it. No, you're asking the other way around, which is very hard, and it will only happen when there's a lot of layoff. When the market goes down, there's a recession, engineers get laid off, then they come to the public at that level with 10 years of experience. So at this point, you are right, you would not get people. You have to promote within and train them.
Yeah, and I agree. The difficulty is we can't even get entry level because of the pay scale.
Yeah.
The salary scale, we can't even get entry level. We can't grow people into those positions. So it's something that we feel like we need to figure out how to address. We can outsource everything, but you're literally paying more than 3 times the amount for outsourcing. And so we're trying to figure out ways to also pay appropriately, pay the market scale, and get people in here, and also save millions of dollars in engineering. So it's just something we're just trying to figure out, how do we accomplish this?
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, Mr. Iqbal, I thought you were finished earlier.
Thank you.
Mr. Davis.
Yeah, my apologies, Mo. You guys kind of, Tom covered it a little bit, that I just wanted to point out that, we were asked to wait on some of this, being able to pay appropriately. We were doing the internal, I don't remember the exact wording for it, but we were doing the internal study and asked to please be patient so that and allow that to be finished so that we could move on to the external comparisons, which I'm quite confident are going to show that, we just lost another one because we're not on the right scale in terms of what we're paying. So I'm happy to hear, and I've encouraged Tom to continue to hold on to those vacancies and not dismiss them in the interest of budgeting, because they need to be filled. It's the right thing to do financially and from a safety standpoint and professionalism. And if we're not going to get that external review answered pretty soon, I'm going to recommend that transportation move forward, including offering pay that's commensurate with the skill level that we're looking for. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Just a question, this is Caius, Mr. Chairman.
Caius?
I think I have a question. Now, a lot of these are there, I think the concern we have is that have they been, these been carried over from year to year to year after 3 years, or?
Yeah, these have been carried over at least a year or two, some of these positions. We've been where we're able to promoting internally, but yeah, some of these are old positions. It's been primarily our hope that the internal, external equity studies would bring us up to the pay scales that like Lake County and DuPage County have, something closer, because we're not even close to their pay scales, but something closer to what Lake and DuPage pay. So we're hoping that these studies will bring us in that direction.
And along those lines, if we're carrying them over from year to year, but not diverting them, I'm assuming we're not diverting the budgeted salaries to something else, then it seems legitimate to carry them. We're not asking, I think the concern is that that the department would ask for them and then they couldn't fill them, so they would use it to do something else. And that's not the case.
Generally, that's not the case. Here, I'm mentioning that the Deputy Chief of Staff, we're going to look at creating that additional needed maintenance position with that. It just means I'll be working on the weekends, but so we'll
already, Tom, I know.
we'll figure that out. So we're trying to work within our budget, within our head count, and also trying to address positions that, again, if we could at least get close to what the other counties pay, I think we could actually bring in some additional staff.
All right, Tepe here. I think everybody else has commented. Let me make my comments. Personally, Tom, I'm a bit disappointed in this. If you have positions that you've continued to carry forward for several years, that in my mind are items that should not be in the budget. These are people that you have been unable to hire and you haven't had them for years. Why are we continuing to carry them in the budget and providing that? If you come across reasons to have people, bring it before the committee and bring it before the board. But we're in a period of time where this county has financed its budget by calling on reserves. And even though your department may be financed differently, I think for you to carry on with this many people when you've been asked to have quite a few less is not appropriate, and you need to pare it down. So that's my opinion. Okay, any other points?
Thank you for that
Continue
thought,
on, Tom.
temporary chair. Davis here. And while I appreciate your thoughts, Mr. Tepe, as temporary chair, I think Tom quite eloquently laid out a lot of reasons for why we maintain those spots and why we're spending 3 times the amount to cover those currently and could be doing it if we had them in-house. But again, thank you for your thoughts.
Mr. Chairman Ford.
Oh, Mr. Fortin?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I don't know how we compare to hiring a consultant that we're paying 3 times for to a full-time position that we need to cover. No matter what, as far as where we can or cannot hire, this external needs to get done. So we know exactly what it is we're looking at. So the external study needs to get, I don't know what's holding it up. We need to see either way, whether we are able to hire them or not. What are we looking at number wise? It doesn't make, I mean, how are we gonna make a budget that's, if right now we don't look at the external and we adjust our budget, we don't know what we're looking at. When we finally look at the external, we find out how far off we are, if that's the way it is. So somewhere along the line is we got to understand what is those external numbers, whether we're able to hire them or not, so we know what we're trying to plan for.
Yeah. Mr. Ford, I know you were kind of responding to me, Tepe here. I had that same conversation with Tom 2 years ago, and in which, to me, the fact that an external consultant costs us 3 times as much as having our own employee to do things is there. That existed 2 years ago, and these people still haven't been hired. So if we've got vacant positions, we keep saying they're going to be advantageous for us. Let's look at what we're paying these people and come up with a pay scale to bring the kind of people on board that we need, not carry these people on a budget, knowing that we're not going to be able to fill them at that level. That's the part I think is inappropriate.
I think we kind of agreed on one point right there, is that we need to look at the numbers so we know what we're looking at. That's what I'm saying.
And I agree with.
That's what I'm saying. Yes.
And I would say staff agrees with that too. The difficulty has been, we've been told for 2 years to wait. And so now we're being told an external study might be a couple more years. So it's 4 years worth of waiting, and we'll figure it out. We always have. It's just that right now we're literally paying $1 million to $1.5 million more than we need to in order to accommodate what we were required to do. And so we'll figure it out. I just wanted to make sure we had direction from the committee whether or not we want to hire the consultants like we've been doing, or if we want to look at trying to fill these positions with appropriate salaries.
The appropriate salaries is the point.
Okay, excellent.
That's where I would come from, because I think you would be saving us money,
Okay.
but that's me personally. Okay, Madam Chair.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you. So I would suggest that I will talk to Human Services and ask them to start putting forward the RFQ or RFP, whichever one it's supposed to be, to solicit that company. It would be an external agency consultant who would do this external study. But broad picture, because I was asking about budget. To do an external study, it's going to be a significant cost, which the board would have to approve. I don't know what that cost is, but it's not going to be inexpensive. And then estimate it'll be around $3 to $4 million approximately, a broad picture, to bring our whole staff of 1,300 people up to external equity within that range. So I'm estimating, let's do a low ball, anywhere from 2 to 3 million to bring that forward. So that'll have to be something that this entire board, again, this committee obviously, but the entire board would have to consider how we're going to rank that up. Obviously, we're going to need to find a revenue source to pay for all of that, which we know. So I agree theoretically with what Mr. Tepe has said. If we don't bring in revenue, we can't bring in compensation. It's a tough conundrum that the board is facing. But just so you know, I will encourage Human Services to move forward with that study so that we can start launching that. And that'll take some time because it's a complicated study. But I'm sure that we can get it done with in due time and then move forward with those numbers. So thank you, Tom. I really appreciate your candor and your honesty and your passion for this. I totally support what you're saying.
Mr. Roth?
And Davis, one more time. Well, it's
Hold on, Mr.
probably
Davis. Mr.
important
Roth.
to.
Hold on, Mr.
Oops.
Davis. Mr. Roth?
The comments that were made, I don't think we can afford to wait. I mean, yes, we need to do the whole county, but I think we need to prioritize. If we're talking here, potential saving of $1 million, let's, and there may be other departments and somebody may be upset that they're not in line first. But there's potential savings here is let's concentrate on transportation. And it won't cost us 3 million just for transportation.
Okay. Mr. Davis?
And to further Mr. Roth's point there, the funding of transportation is somewhat unique as it relates to the rest of the departments in our budget. But maybe for today, we should return to our agenda and get through this meeting, and we'll continue this higher level conversation once we take care of the business of the day.
Okay,
I'll
go on to
move-
page 2.
Page 2, thank you. A little bit of discussion about our project considerations. Just to let you know, projects have increased since 2019 because of COVID and other reasons. They've increased it by about 25%. And so that's having an impact. And so we are going to be over the next month really looking at trying to figure out what projects to prioritize in front of you. We also have explained, as we did last year, that we are always planning in advance. You have to do planning and phase 1 engineering before you can even go after federal and state grants. You have to have that completed. So we're always looking at phase 1 engineering. We're looking at the projects that this committee and others bring forward. We are somewhat in a quandary. We do need additional revenue sources. There's 184 million projected shortfall in our funding in our 5-year financial plan. None of this is new. This is all information we provided before. We continue to have grants coming in, and they fill in those gaps in funding. And so we continue to move forward with projects. It's just the way it works. And so I want to make sure that you understand we do have funding issues, but we're always financially planning for those issues and going after grants. When you look at, and just to point at our TIP, we have 130 projects in there. A majority of those projects are actually maintenance projects. Currently, because of Longmeadow, a good percentage of our expansion capacity improvements, $62 million worth, 93% of that's already contractually obligated. So when you look at the TIP that we sent out in the packet, there's no new projects in there The only project that we've even talked about potentially as a new start is the Burlington at Silver Glen, to at least look at it. We can't promise you at any point in time that there are going to be certain improvements, but we are going to look at it. So that potentially is a new project. Everything else is because it's obligated because of maintenance requirements, or it's projects that we're already in the midst of and we've got federal and state funds for. So this is just kind of an overview. We continue to get requests for new projects. Some of them are even projects that each of you have brought forward to us, but we're focused primarily on our maintenance capital program and the current projects with federal and state funds. This is the document that you received. I'm not going to highlight any of the projects in here, except to say this, that if there are anything that you feel like if there is anything that you feel like that we are missing in here, that you let us know as soon as possible, because the budget cycle is a couple months in advance of where we typically would be, and we're trying to follow that budget cycle. So if you get a chance, please look at this within the next week and get back to us, or if you have comments now so that we can note it and make sure that we're trying to see whether or not that can fit within our 5-year financial plan. So you have all the sheets. Take a look at it. That's all I'm going to say there. And then I'm just going to talk about real quick some of the projects that we currently have in there. The expansion projects, the projects that are highlighted in yellow are the ones that we started over the last couple of years. Again, we got to get out in front of the federal and state funds. And these are the projects that within the last couple of years, this committee has directed us to go forward. There's the Doberman Meredith Road realignment, phase 1 only. We don't have within our 5-year financial plan anything but phase 1. That's the concerns around the high school on Kesslinger Road that we're looking at some redesign aspects. The French Road at Harmony Extension, this is something that the Village of Hampshire and others in the area have asked us to take a look at, phase 1 only. There's not money to construct it at this point in time. The Huntley Road widening from Randall to Sleepy Hollow Road, phase 1 only. Randall at I-90 interchange improvement, phase 1 only at this point in time. That's one where we're going to have to work in concert with the tollway and really come up with a funding package over the next 10 years. It will take that long to develop it. So a lot of these projects, that's one of the reasons why you also have to go into phase 1 engineering to get the funds and because it takes 10 years to develop these projects in many cases. Randall at Kesslinger, this is a concern near the hospital there, phase 1 engineering only. Randall at Prairie, during the peak hours, you probably see a lot of the backups that occur there. We have a signal that's only 500 to 600 feet away from Route 38 in Randall. And then Randall at US 20. So they're all phase 1. The financial plan doesn't seek to construct anything within the next 5 years. It seeks to start the engineering aspects so that we can go after federal funds. Modernization, the Bowes Corn and Nestler Road, phase 1 engineering only. That's a very expensive project, but we need to start looking at it. Randall at Highland, phase 1 only at this point in time. And then Tyrrell Road from Raymond Drive to Mason Road, the phase 1 only. Burlington Road bicycle accommodations, the Randall Road multimodal corridor. This is something that a number of county board members said we need to start looking at bike pad accommodations along Randall Road on the north end of the county. And so we're studying that aspect, and there may be some smaller projects that come out of that, even though it's the whole corridor that's been being studied. And then bridge structures. There's over 60 bridge and structure maintenance projects currently within our TIP. Some of them are occurring this year. Some of them are occurring in the next couple years. This is all based upon the bridge inspections. It's an ongoing process that annually you see our bridge inspections that come before you. But right now there's 60 projects that are listed within the TIP where we're obligated to continue to maintain those structures and in some cases replace them. And then the pavement maintenance, we're obligated to do that as a matter of safety, et cetera. So I just wanted to lay these out in front of you, make sure that you see nothing is new here except the one project that I mentioned that we're going to be at least exploring, that the Burlington Silver Glen. Everything else is stuff that this committee has seen in the past and that we've been moving forward with. And that is my presentation. If you have any comments on the projects, that's my main concern.
Sure.
Mr. Iqbal.
Mr. Chairman, my question is, we have ARPA funds and the funds are available, but I haven't seen KDOT using them. Is there a reason for that?
The only area that we have utilized ARPA is primarily with the Ride and Cane program. We've kind of shorted up in order to expand the program with some ARPA funds. My understanding has been that the ARPA funds have generally been utilized for other purposes, and so that's where we've stood. I have not looked at any project funding with ARPA funds.
Yeah, there are a lot of opportunities there. It is available for disabled folks, community, and there are a lot of opportunities on every intersection that to make it accessible for the handicap. And so the fund can be used there.
And I guess that's something that we could explore. I know with a lot of the requirements that we have to utilize federal funds on a roadway project, it takes years to develop those types of plans. But that's something that we could at least explore.
Yeah, I think you should.
Mr. Chair. I'm sorry, Tom, could you remind me why, or the expansion on Huntley Road between Randall and Sleepy Hollow, I think?
The expansion on Huntley Road was something that started almost a decade and a half ago. It was part of the overall 4-laning of Huntley Road from Randall Road all the way to 31. And the first component of it, we were able to get federal dollars from Sleepy Hollow to 31, and that was constructed. We worked closely with the Village of Carpentersville and West Dundee, and that, I forget what it was something like $18 million project. It was constructed and completed a couple years ago. This is the next stage. We weren't prioritizing it at the staff level because we were waiting to see what the dynamics of the completed Long Meadow Parkway would be. And so that's why it's in the 5-year plan for a phase 1 only, but it's not being prioritized at this time till we see if traffic patterns change.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's go on to your first resolution.
That'll be me. Before you, there's a resolution authorizing the number of procurement cards for the division and their monthly and single purchase limits. Currently have 2 P cards. One is issued to Carl Shadle with a monthly transaction limit of $15,000 and a single purchase limit of $3,000. And the second card is issued to Mike Way with a transaction limit of $10,000 and with a monthly transaction limit of $10,000 and a single purchase limit of $3,000.
We have a motion to.
Roth will make a motion.
Roth moves, Kaya seconds. Any other discussion? I believe this can be approved by a voice vote, so all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That one's moved along, Mr. Kenyon. Our next resolution, may I have a motion to discuss the next resolution?
Roth will make the motion.
Okay. Board second, okay. Resolution on Anderson Road Bridge.
Yeah, the Anderson Road Bridge had its first maintenance project since the county constructed it. While this bridge has been jurisdictionally transferred to the Village of Elburn, we do have a 50% maintenance responsibility for it for the total period of 20 years, which I think we're quite a few years into that 20 years. But the overall cost of that maintenance construction was 66 and some odd change $1,000. And our share of it is 50%. So this is a resolution appropriating $33,185.58. And this is to reimburse the village of Elburn on their costs. The staff is recommending approval.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Iqbal,
Well, yes.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Roth,
Roth, yes.
Ford,
Ford, yes.
Davis,
Davis, yes.
Tepe.
Happy yes.
Passes.
Okay. Maintenance. Getting back there.
Good morning, sorry. In the report, you'll see our maintenance report. Just a couple of things I'd like to highlight is that we are currently in the process of switching over to summer activities. That includes steam cleaning all the plow trucks, disassembling the plows off the trucks, and getting ready for summer. We do that every year to help reduce the rust on the trucks, keep them lasting longer. Another thing that I forgot to put in the report, I apologize. Currently, it is Work Zone Safety Week. So staff has been participating in a work zone safety training, including flagging operations and activities like that. So we take work zone safety very seriously, and we continue to evaluate our safety procedures as they come. Next thing is a couple photos. I like to highlight a new program we're doing. Twice a year, we have to take all of our vehicles to the safety lane. It's required by the state of Illinois. We currently, the old process, the safety lane was in Wasco, so not too far from us, but we were paying $50 per truck, and sometimes we're in line for 2 to 3 hours. So when we kind of started looking at it, to become a certified safety lane, we had to have 75 vehicles. We at KDOT do not have that, but we reached out to the Forest Reserve and to OEM, and we met the 75 vehicle goal. So the state was able to come in and train us to be a safety lane that is just for us in the county. It's not open to anyone in the outside. Where we ran the numbers, it will save us approximately $10,000 every 6 months because we have to do it twice a year. So if we actually were able to get all of KDOT vehicle safety lane within a week, where historically it has taken us a month to a month and a half. So it reduces man hours and it's saving the county about $20,000 a year to include it. And I know it's saving the Forest Reserve man hours too. So any questions on the maintenance report?
Okay, no questions. Next is a resolution approving adopt a highway applicants. I believe there are 15 applicants. May I have a motion
Caius would move.
Roth will second.
and a second to discuss? Any discussion? Caius.
This is Caius. I'd like to thank all of those, 15. There's some serious mileage in that.
Yeah.
And then remind, or just point out that there is a section that is dedicated to Steve Chittister, who was duly noted earlier in this meeting. And congratulations, or maybe not congratulations, but our
thanks.
Yeah, our thanks for doing that.
All right, any further discussion? Bless you. We could have a voice vote in this. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Next, we have a resolution approving a contract with Matrix Coating Solutions, Inc. of West Chicago for Building E resinous flooring system. May I have a motion and a second to discuss this?
Berman moved.
Who seconded? Oh, Kaya seconded?
I think it was.
Ford seconded.
Ford
Okay,
did,
didn't
yeah.
hear it. Sorry.
Sorry.
Who's presenting this? You're presenting this? Okay.
Yes, maintenance. So this is our mechanic shop. What this is over the years, the salt has started to kind of corrode the concrete a little bit. So we need to apply a resinous or an epoxy floor to protect the floor from any more damage before it starts reaching the in-ground heating that is in that building. So purchasing department opened bids for a contract to repair the concrete floor. When we closed the bidding process, staff reviewed the 3 bids that were determined and submitted. We determined that the bids compliance with the King County Responsible Bidder Ordinance After the bids were reviewed, it was determined that none of the three bids submitted met the guidelines set forth by the RBO. With that, we went back to the original King County purchasing ordinance. And we are going to recommend that the lowest bidder of Matrix be approved for $149,956.25.
Any discussion?
Mr.
Gaius.
Chairman, well, I do have a question about the qualifications to meet the RBO. And I'm not sure what the best opportunity to do that, to discuss is. We need to go into closed session to discuss. If we can do that, or where's our state's attorney?
Good morning, everybody. Can I be recognized? Is that okay? May I speak, please?
Sure.
Great. My name is Chris Weldon. I'm with the State's Attorney's Office. With respect to this particular issue, there is a possibility to go into closed session based on some of the potential issues that may be presented in this discussion. So I think that would be acceptable at this time to do that, if possible, if that is what the board chooses to
Do you
do.
have a specific language to go into closed session?
Sure. Well, I mean, given the circumstances, I suppose we would probably fall under some pending potential litigation, depending on how the discussion goes.
Okay.
We could go into executive on those grounds. So.
Kais would move to go into executive session to discuss this.
Davis, second.
Pending litigation.
Okay, Mr. Davis, second.
I think that's potential as opposed to pending, but yeah, second.
Mr. Iqbal?
Yeah, in addition to whatever is the reason going into the executive session, there's another one which has been distributed for acquisition of property. Would that be included in this executive session or not?
That would not be included. This is more of the procedural land acquisition resolution. And so that does not need to be discussed in executive.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right, roll call.
Berman,
Yes.
Iqbal,
Well, yes.
Caius,
Yes.
Roth,
Roth, yes.
Ford, Davis,
Davis, yes.
Pepe.
Steffi, yes.
Gonna go.
Okay, we'll be going into executive session.
All right, everybody online, please accept the invites to go into the closed session. A reminder to those in the room that have joined us digitally, you must also join the closed session before we can begin. Please accept the invites.
I don't think we're gonna be done.
In the hole. You got in the weeds all day long.
Looked. Okay. I looked and said.
Oops.
Right, Ford?
That's right. All right, I believe we're back in open session. Roll call, please. Oh.
Who's wrong?
Oh.
Who's wrong?
Okay.
Am I allowed to say that? Okay. roll call,
Berman,
Please.
Iqbal. Caius,
Present.
Leonard, Roth,
Roth here.
Ford. Davis,
Davis here.
Tepe.
Seppi here.
You have an in-person quorum?
Okay, so more discussion on the resolution about matrix coding solutions?
No.
May we have a roll call, please?
Berman. Iqbal. He's still gone. Caius,
Guys, no.
Roth,
Roth, yes.
Ford. Davis,
Davis, yes.
Tepe.
Seppi, no.
It's a tie unless,
Tie, so it
Iqbal.
fails.
Okay.
Okay, let's
Mr.
go on to,
Tepe, could you repeat your comment? I didn't hear it.
it is a tie so
Not bad.
that it fails.
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 Okay.
Planning and programming?
Good morning, everyone. In the interest of time, I'll just mention that my report's in your packet. We will be bringing the 5-year tip to you next month with a resolution. I have the quarterly ridership data for our Ride and Cane program. Really nothing to talk about here. It's been pretty consistent in the last 2 quarters. And that's all I have for you today. Oh, and then I have a resolution. For our Ride and Cane program, we had appropriated $300,000 for the program for fiscal year 2023. We recently received the final invoice and we need to appropriate an additional $430 to cover that final invoice for the Ride and Cane program. So I'm requesting that additional appropriation, please.
Motion. to
Roth will make a
discuss it.
motion.
Moves.
Second.
Caius seconds. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Roth,
Roth, yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Davis,
Davis, yes.
Tepe.
Is it true Kenyon offered the $400?
Davis offered their 30.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Permitting?
Our permitting report is included in your packet. If you have any questions, I'd glad to try to answer those.
Any questions? Okay, traffic operations?
Good morning. I'll just let the report stand for itself. If there's any questions, let me know.
Okay, project implementation.
Thank you, Chair. The IMP report is in the packet. Just quickly want to mention that we're planning for the removal of the Long Meadow Parkway toll signs for April.
Can you get a little bit closer to the mic?
Move closer.
Thank you.
Yes, we're planning with Madam Chair for the removal of the Long Meadow Parkway toll signs on April 30th at 11 a.m. That's all I have for the IMP report, and I can move to our one photo if there aren't any questions. Candy Thomas, our senior project manager for the Dobbleman Road project, went out very early in the morning and captured the great photos of bridge beams being laid across the railroad. We also previously, the contractor laid the beams over US 30. It's really cool photos there.
Great photos.
Okay, we have a resolution approving a contract for construction with Builders Paving LLC of Hillside, Illinois for the Blackberry Township Road District.
Roth will make the motion.
Roth moves, Ford seconds. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Berman,
Yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Roth,
Roth, yes.
Ford,
Ford, yes.
Davis,
Davis, yes.
Pepe.
Steffi, yes.
Passes.
Okay, we have a resolution approving a contract for construction with J.A. Johnson Paving Company of Arlington Heights, Illinois for a 2024 Burlington Township Road District, section number in detail. May I have a motion and second?
Ford move.
Caius, second.
Moves.
Iqbal.
Iqbal seconds. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Berman,
Yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Roth,
Roth, yes.
Ford,
Ford, yes.
Davis, yes.
Pepe.
Steffi, yes.
Passes.
We have a resolution approving a contract for construction with Peter Baker and Son Company of Lake Bluff, Illinois for a 2024 Hampshire Township Road District section. Lowest qualified builder is Peter Baker and Son at $100,950.45.
Berman move.
Herman moves.
Roth
Roth
seconds.
seconds. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Berman,
Yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Roth,
Roth, yes.
Ford, yes.
Davis,
Davis, yes.
Pepe.
Steffi, yes.
Passes.
We have a resolution approving a contract for construction with Builders Paving of Hillside, Illinois for a 2024 Kingville Township Road District project. Lowest qualified bidder is Builders Paving at $208,588.
Iqbal moves.
Iqbal moves.
Herman second.
Ford seconds. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Berman,
Yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Roth, Ford,
Ford, yes.
Davis, yes.
Pepe.
Steffi, yes.
Passes.
Resolution approving a contract for construction with Builders Paving of Hillside, Illinois for a 2024 St. Charles Township Road District project in the amount of $1,334,188.
Iqbal moves.
Iqbal moves.
Roth will second.
Roth seconds. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Berman,
Yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Roth,
Roth, yes.
Ford,
Ford.
Davis,
Davis, yes.
Pepe.
Steffi, yes.
Passes.
We have a resolution approving a contract for construction with SKC Construction, Inc. of West Dundee for a 2024 Kane County HMA and PPC crack sealing project in the amount of $264,663.80.
Roth will make the motion.
Berman second.
Berman seconds. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Berman,
Yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Caius,
Caius, abstain.
Roth,
Roth, yes.
Ford,
Ford, yes.
Davis,
Davis, yes.
Pepe.
Steffi, yes.
Passes.
We have a resolution approving a contract for construction with Corrective Asphalt Materials of South Roxana, Illinois for a 2024 Kane County Asphalt Rejuvenator project in the amount of $762,463.20.
Iqbal moves.
Iqbal moves.
Berman.
Berman seconds. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Berman,
Yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Caius,
Caius, abstain.
Roth,
Roth, yes.
Davis,
Davis, yes.
Pepe.
Steffi, yes.
Passes.
We have a resolution approving an amendment to Phase 2 Engineering Services Agreement with Christopher B. Burke Engineering Limited of Rosemont, Illinois for Randall Road at Hops Road intersection improvements in the amount of $3,294,694.
Roth will make the motion.
Roth moves.
Iqbal seconds.
Iqbal seconds. Any discussion? Get this one done. Roll call, please.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Iqbal,
Well, yes.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Roth,
Roth, yes.
Davis,
Davis, yes.
Pepe.
Tepe, yes. We have a resolution approving an amendment to the agreement with Thomas Engineering Group of Lombard, Illinois for on-call traffic/safety engineering services. The amendment to extend the terms of the agreement. May I have a motion and a
Berman
second? to-
move.
Berman
Roth will
move.
second.
A second. What is this? What terms are we extending?
This just extends the term of the contract. The contract's set to expire. There's still funds left in it. It's an engineering contract for on-call traffic safety. And so we're just extending the expiration date of the contract.
Okay. Thank you. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Iqbal,
Well, yes.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Roth,
Roth, yes.
Ford, Davis,
Davis, yes.
Pepe.
Tepe, yes.
Passes.
We have a resolution approving a Gray Willows Wetland Mitigation Bank Credit Purchase Agreement with V3 Wetland Restoration LLC of Woodridge, Illinois for Randall Road at Big Timber Road intersection improvements
Caius, move.
in the amount of $260,083 to purchase 1.5299 credits. Caius moves, Iqbal seconds. Any discussion? Mr.
Question,
Caius?
we're not buying it from the Kane County Forest Preserve?
I don't
I
think
don't
there's any
think we're out of
available.
credits. I just thought I'd throw that in there. Darn.
Do you have credits available?
We would be happy to, but they're not certified with the Army Corps yet.
We'll get there.
Okay.
Need to talk to the
Roll
Forest
call,
Reserve
please.
president.
Berman,
Yes.
Iqbal,
Well, yes.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Roth,
Roth, yes.
Ford, Davis,
Davis, yes.
Tepe, yes. We have a resolution authorizing the acquisition of real property for Kirk Road over Union Pacific Railroad. Authorization to acquire the highway right-of-way, 2 parcels. Is there an amount?
This is a housekeeping item. This is to allow us to proceed into the acquisition phasing for this parcel. So there's not an amount yet. That will come at a later date.
Okay,
Roth will make the motion.
Roth moves.
Davis, second.
Berman seconds. Berman seconds. Mr.
There you
Ricker?
go.
Yeah, I just want to mention, you each should have gotten a copy of a revised resolution. The resolution that was in the packet dealt with more of land mitigation aspects. This is the correct one that you have in front of you. We will be making changes within the county system to address the appropriate wording.
So you'll have it corrected going forward.
Yes.
Okay.
The maps, this is Caius. With
Mr.
your
Caius?
permission, Mr. Chairman, the maps and stuff are the same. It's just a
Right.
matter of the wording on.
Yes.
All right, roll call, please.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Iqbal,
Well, yes.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Roth,
Roth, yes.
Davis,
Davis, yes.
Pepe.
Tepe, yes. Okay. May I have a motion to place the reports on file?
Caius would ask for unanimous consent to place reports on file.
Any objection? Okay, so noted. Anybody want to go back into executive session?
No.
Okay.
Hey.
Any new business? Okay, Mr. Davis, as chair of this committee, are there any comments you would like to make?
I probably shouldn't get started. No, these, wonderful job, everybody. Thank you for stepping in. Staff, you're great. Keep doing what you're doing. And, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Roth will second.
All in favor?